This is Forever United TV. We are back live, bright and early on the 19th of November, counting down the days till weekend and RUBEN AMORIM's first game at Manchester United. I feel like I've opened up every single live show saying that now for the last 2 bleeding weeks. We are all excited about football coming. We have had a snippet, we have had a look, a in-depth sort of look into training and some leaked footage coming out of Manchester United, which is all over the internet right now, of RUBEN AMORIM in operation with Manchester United. We're going to bring up some of them clips in this show alone and talk through a few positions that certain players have picked up on, have been picked in, and how Manchester United have been setting up, the drills he's been doing. That initial thought, it feels like something completely new. We're seeing social media posts from the likes of Rashford, Casemiro. Everyone looks happy, everyone looks into it. Key players that have been playing in full training. So we're going to go through that in detail because that's important. In full training, I mean players that are obviously playing with the first team in training and are expected to be there for selection for weekend. Whether or not the manager or the coach picks them players is up to him, but when they're in first team training, it means that they can be picked pretty much for the game at weekend. So we're going to go through them, the key roles that players have been playing in these clips. It may sound crazy that we're saying, like, what can you pick up from training? But the in-depth, I've got some clips that are coming up in a minute that you can see for yourself. But it is eye-opening how much access we've actually got. Obi Martin being promoted. Update on Gyökeres. Putting them two together and talking about that this morning as well. And the complete left field, stab in the dark horse signing for Manchester United that we're being linked with at the moment as well. Going to bring you some interesting stats on a certain player that you know quite a lot about already that United apparently are looking at. So we're going to get into all of that, and obviously we're going to get your comments in the live section as well. We are slightly earlier today. The snow has been bad in Manchester. I've got the school run. You know what I'm thinking. I've got to leave a little bit earlier just in case we have the absolute carnage on the roads and some absolute numpty would have just run into someone else's car that's parked up because they haven't put the brakes on quick enough. So I'm giving myself a little bit of time to actually make it to school this morning. So I appreciate you all being on the show, being on early as well with me on this Forever United TV live stream. Please give the video a like. Make sure you have subscribed as well. We've got all of your news, all of your updates and everything that is happening at Manchester United going on. So yes, RUBEN AMORIM has been training at Manchester United. We've seen the pictures, we've seen the footage of United's first team. All smiles, all happy, obviously. Certain key positions and roles being played within training with some of these players. It's great to see the interaction with Amorim. He's so vocal, he's so clear in his messaging. Just watching the clips, and there is quite a bit of it, if you watch the clips and you listen to what he's saying, it just looks like the players get it straight away. And you could say, Adam, shut up. You're clutching at straws here. You really are clutching at straws thinking that this is going to be proof that United are actually a different team now. We're a different proposition altogether because you've seen some training clips. These players will throw in the towel after a few weeks. This won't matter. Everything's happy at first, and then we'll go into our usual mode of just downing tools, spitting dummies out, not being happy. Look, at the end of the day, what we've said about RUBEN AMORIM is, and as you can see in these clips right here, it's RUBEN AMORIM talking to the players, giving that clear one-on-one instruction. Every single player. You can see the youth academy players that were involved in training as well here today. You can see the message. You can see what he was doing with Johnny Evans, Lenny Yoro. In terms of positions on the pitch and where players are actually playing, you can see there as well Luke Shaw in, getting back into position, running back into shape, actually having a proper structure on the pitch, a plan, everything that he's sort of building up there just in one session alone. And yeah, we can sort of overhype it a bit, and you know what, I am going to. I don't care. I don't care if you think this is over the top. I don't care if you think that this is something that every single club does or every team does, but I just want everybody to just take in what we've got here as a Manchester United coach, and straight away the enthusiasm that's involved, the energy. Do you know what I mean? You can see players actually listening in, tuning in. And I hope these players are absolutely dead on their feet. Absolutely dead on their feet after this training session. You can see the personal one-on-one touches that he's going through. All of the extra bits that we just didn't get before, or probably wouldn't expect to get from Erik Ten Hag. I mean, I don't know. We've not seen as much footage behind the scene with Ten Hag. But looking at this, you can already see what he's trying to do. Manchester United won't be left wanting, will they? And I think that's what we can take from all of this. It was brilliant to see. And it was, do you know what? It was an eye-opener just being able to get that sort of access, to actually see Manchester United training like that. Interesting thing to take from that. First of all, for me, and many people have picked up on it on social media as well, is the positioning, the setup of certain players, where players are playing. The biggest one out of all of this, and I'm going to take this one, I'm going to take the plaudits for this one. Some other people would have said it as well, but Anthony being played at right wing back straight away. If you're a manager coming into Manchester United, you've had a week to assess everything. You've watched the videos, you've gone through the footage, you've gone through the coach's feedback, you've looked at everything that's happened before with a certain player. Anthony cutting in, shooting from all sorts of angles, inverted winger, whatever you want to say, however you want to call it. This is what's been happening, and he's looked at that, and straight away, first training session for me, and I think this is key, and I think this is what we need to look into, is that he's gone in at wing-back. He's played him, and this is without some of Manchester United's forward players. Let's think who's missing. Like, you've got no Garnacho, you've got no Rasmus Højlund, you've got no Joshua Zirkzee. You've got quite a few forwards there that are not in this training session, and still Anthony doesn't make it into the forward line, looking at the setup in these teams. It's been documented and published that Anthony was at right wing back, which I think is key and massive in this one. Lenny Yoro, who is fit and fully available, played at right centre back. That's what we expected. We all expected Matthias de Ligt to be central. We expected Lissandro to be on the left. Interesting to see Johnny Evans is fully fit as well. So if there is any issues with Lissandro Martinez, we have cover there as well. Kukonki obviously came in as well into training. 16-year-old monster, 6'5" under-18s player, was also in training as well. But looking at that, Marcus Rashford also played as a 9, which tells us a lot as well. Whether that will change, I don't know. But starting Rashford out as a 9, I said this last night's show. I said it on the United View as well. I just said, look, we need to just train Rashford in now for his last few years at United as a number 9. If he sinks, he sinks. If he swims, he swims. Let's just see. Stick to it, commit to it, and just stick him there. Yeah, we're lacking in numbers anyway. I don't think he's going to work as hard as what we need in the other roles. I think he's just got that pace over the top. And I think he is obviously clearly the fastest player in Manchester United's squad. And you know what? For this season, if I've got a player running through on goal, who would I rather have running through on goal? Rasmus Højlund or Marcus Rashford? Out of experience, probably I would pick Marcus Rashford right now, simply because Rasmus Højlund is out of form. And I'm not saying that Rasmus isn't going to be involved in that at all there. I just look at it and say Rasmus and Rashford have to fight it out amongst themselves to get that number 9 spot. Competition for places. It's been made very, very clear that it's going to be I feel, a set routine, a set system in certain formations, and players have their roles. I don't want to see players moving and chopping and changing and playing in different roles. I think it looks like he knows what he wants from a certain player, and he knows that he's going to get it from that player in that position. And I think that's the reality of it right now. And I think that's what we have to look at as the big positive, that players are knowing exactly what they're going to do, and they're going to play in that role as well. It was Kobe Mainoo and Casemiro in the midfield area. You'd expect that. Manuel Ugarte isn't there yet. Obviously, Christian Eriksen, Bruno Fernandes, not there yet either. So midfield options not there. Mason Mount's getting plenty of plaudits from the audio from them clips as well, in terms of positioning and movement from RUBEN Amorim. And we've all talked up Mason Mount as to what role he will play. It's going to be interesting to see how he sets his first team up from what's available. There may be players come back. Obviously, there are players coming back late from international duty. But like I said yesterday, with United's game being on Sunday against Ipswich, I think we can look at that as an extra opportunity for another day. Whereas the previous 2 international breaks, we played on the Saturday. This week, we're playing the last game of the weekend on the Sunday. So I think that's a big plus point for Manchester United. I think that's something we can take as a big positive from the international break coming back in this time, to give us the best chance to prepare ourselves for the game. And I liked it. I like the setup. I like the players. Like, you can take what you can from training. The cameras are on at a certain moment. Everyone looks happy. You know it can be fixed, and you know it can be sort of moulded into looking great. I do want to take that into consideration as well. I just don't want to go, whoa, look at this. United are back because of one training session and clips from that training session. No. The most important thing from it is the clips where he's talking to players, the clear message that he's giving, the stuff that we've seen not happen on a pitch. in Manchester United over the last, 10 years. People getting back into shape and position, players not running, players not working as hard as what they should do. Basically, stuff that every other club in the league is doing that United are not. I think that's what we've got to look at. I think that's the important thing in all of this. Anthony at right wing back, yes, and then some more yes. If you're going to play Anthony at all, or he's going to fit into this team, right wing back. And it's good to see him playing there at training today. And like I said before, him being put there straight away with the lack of attackers that we've actually got, I think kind of tells you Amorim has a plan. And if Anthony wants to be part of this team, maybe we can find a new player. We made a great video the other day regarding what happens with players. And sometimes they come through as a certain position and you've got all the hype and then they fail. But instead of giving up on a player, you work with them and you change their position. And they turn out to be a different player altogether. You look at Valencia and Ashley Young turning into fullbacks from wingers. Joe Linton, who's a striker, who's now a great central midfielder and pivotal to the Newcastle side. Could we be getting a winger in Anthony turning into a right back / whatever you want to call it for the formation and system that Amorim is playing? It's doable, it's possible, and I don't think we can ignore it. I think we need to look at this and go, there are options here for everyone in this Man United squad to fit into this system. You could see Ghana on a left wing back situation, or as the false 10. If you want to play, say Ahmad and Bruno, Mount and Bruno may be rested under Amorim. We've got to see that as well. You've got Rashford and Højlund and Xerxes fighting at 9. Maybe Xerxes could play the 10. Just off, but he has to go wide in that role. It's a bit different, not a natural 10. They split off as well, quite wide 10s coming in as well in different sections of the game, in and out of possession. So when you look at the players we've got, when you look at how Amorim sets up, when you look at what you've seen in that first training session, you put it all together and you see positives coming out straight away, I think. I think that is important for us to look at and look into. And I feel like United's setup right now is... it's going to take work. It's going to take a little bit of time to make sure that these players are fully on board with it. And it looks great at the moment, everyone there, but they'll be walking back into training today feeling it a little bit probably from yesterday because we've not trained like this, it would seem anyway. It looks different and he is going to work them harder. So let's see who adapts to it and let's see how he integrates it into Manchester United going forward into the weekend and the game itself. Please give the video a like, by the way. We're almost at 100 already. Well over 700 in the room. Welcome, everybody. We are now over the 8 o'clock threshold, which is the normal kickoff time. If you're just tuning in thinking, whoa, how much have I missed? I'm just trying to beat the snow and the school run this morning by giving you your full time, but setting up a little bit earlier. They're not going to do this that much, everybody. It's just today. Seriously, Manchester... when it snows, you'd think that it was the apocalypse. Like the roads turn into nightmares. This country cannot handle bad weather, even though we've got some of the most dullest weather on the planet. I'm just going a little bit earlier, that's all. I want to get into the comments on this. Get into them positions, everybody, please. I can see a few comments already coming in talking about where certain players are playing. If you've got any ideas for certain players, then yeah, let's go with that. By the way, there was no United Couple podcast yesterday. Something came up that I had to deal with yesterday and I couldn't record it. I didn't have time to, so I do apologise about that. I'll keep you updated on that and everything as we go forward. It's that busy at the moment, and something did come up yesterday that I had to sort out, which had to take priority, so apologies for anyone who was waiting last night. I will keep you posted on everything going forward there. Into the chat we go. I mentioned that Anthony will be playing as a wing-back, and some people thought it was a joke. He will flourish in that position. Don, honestly, I don't know why people would laugh at that. There is a role for Anthony at right wing back, left wing back even. He's a left footer, let's not forget. So don't discard the fact that Anthony could come across to the left as well. I think that is another possibility in this as well. And yeah, it's new. Yeah, it's something we've not seen. Yeah, we didn't buy him for that role, but we're not going to be able to sell him for much. So why not utilise him for what he's got? Which is bags of energy, tenacity. He is hard in the tackle. He gets stuck in. He's tenacious. And you know what? We may stumble upon something. It's a big if. I don't know if he's going to play there. It's a big but he's there. He's fit. He's got energy. He's not in the international fold right now. He's always going to be an option for us. And if you want energy, if you want that tenacity, you've got him on the bench there. When you're looking to rotate, Luke Shaw might not be able to play. Now, let's say that Luke Shaw might not be able to play a leading game. Yeah, we don't know. You did see Luke Shaw in the pictures there. He is in full training. Is available for weekend. Interesting. We'll see what happens there. But Malacia's fit. Luke Shaw's fit. You've got Amas coming through. You've got Anthony there to play that role as well if necessary. Look, all of these players are going to be playing these new roles and they're getting used to it as well. And I just want to make the point, like, Anthony out on left wing back or right wing back. Don't dismay it. Don't look at that as like this stupid idea. It's there and it is and can be used as a tool for Manchester United. Gricker says, Yoro, Shaw, Malacia all in training. We may actually have a bench that offers some depth for the first time in forever. That's what I've been getting excited about. I think the bench is probably going to be just as good as the bleeding starting lineup at weekend, isn't it? Gehern, if Rashford gets his mind right so he can learn about the striker's movements, he can be amazing. I just want him to take some football seriously. Anthony on the right wing back because Amorim wants him to cut inside with the ball when attacking. Could possibly be. Like I said, like anything is open and anything is possible. Ernest, good comment there. James Dawson, I'm no Rashford fan. I pray we can offload the Joker and buy a new number 9 with the proceeds. But to be honest, I think he may be okay as a 9 under the new boss with 2 up front. 2 up front or 2 10s behind him supporting. There's lots of different ways you can look at Marcus Rashford's position in the side, and I think there's a few options there in that front line. There really is, and we'll see how it develops. Mount has played this system or similar before. I really hope he hits the ground running. Hopefully, giving the head coach problems. Like I said, laugh at all the smiling faces. Imagine now that the players are being coached and trained for the first time ever at United since Fergie. It'll take a long time for some of these players. Rashford has never been coached in his career. I think he would have been under Van Gaal, to be honest. I don't think we can sort of disrespect Van Gaal and that side of things. I think he was the one coach that was getting a system in place. We might not have liked it, but he definitely was doing something. As the first one I expected. Stuart, Adam, come on, training looks good and you're getting excited. Let's wait till when we play a decent team. It's the same with everything, mate. The difference is you can actually see players played in certain positions that we've never seen them play before when they probably should have been playing in these roles. That's why we get excited, because it's new and we're allowed to get excited. Yes, we will see, and I will gladly sit here. Well, I won't gladly sit here, but I will take the L and the loss if it turns out to not work at weekend and we look like idiots. But still, I like to see change. I like to see a bit of momentum and something actually being implemented that could change the way that Manchester United play in the future. It doesn't necessarily have to come to fruition straight away, but if you can see signs, then you can get a little bit encouraged by it. Just watching the session, you get a fresh sense of determination and motivation amongst the players. Great start. Let's continue the momentum. 100% on that one. 100%. We have a super chat in from Greg. Watching a training session yesterday, running back, the coaching, the promise, this is the real deal in my opinion. It looks organised, it looks better, and it looks like something the players are taking on board very, very quickly. And I think that simple instructions, like you've seen when Ruben Amorim there had the whistle. United had possession, he blew the whistle, stopped, Johnny's lost the ball, everyone back in position. So you stop from what you were doing and the sprint back into shape. That's never happened at United. A simple instruction and a simple message from the coach to the players to make that and drill that into them. And you cannot tell me that that has been happening at United. It's not. And this is what people have said about Ruben Amorim coming in. He's got simple instructions that you cannot get wrong. It's easy to understand, and then they adapt as they go forward. They start to progress and add more into it. But at the moment, it's like he said in his interview, you will see a change instantly. And I think this is the type of thing that we're expecting to see on Sunday. That work rate, that shape, that trigger and certain stages of play that these players all move as one together in. I think that's what we're going to see is different. He quite clearly has watched what we have been watching and seen where United are not working hard enough or implementing the right play or system or whatever into the game. And I think this is where he can comfortably say in that interview that, yeah, things will change straight away. You will see a change straight away. And I think that's what we've got to cling on to. I think that's what we've got to be excited about. Another super chat in from King Howie. Thank you, buddy. I think there will be a benefit from clear instructions. Mark my word, we're finishing top 5. Let's just say top 4, King Howie, eh? Let's just round it up to the nearest 4 and go 4 because we can get back in the Champions League. Thanks for the super chat, my friend. Brilliant stuff. Make sure you have subscribed as well. You will get all of the content on tap from Forever United TV. Hit that bell notification button as well. The QR code in the bottom right hand corner is, if you want to scan that, that's our other channel, Football Talks, all over football matters, and some interesting stuff and content in there as well. If you want to have a laugh at Harry Kane's new statue, scan that QR code on the screen at the bottom right hand corner. If you haven't seen it already, just go and look at it. Oh, you thought Ronaldo was bad. Wow. What are these people doing with statues, honestly? Come on. It's embarrassing. Just after this show, just go back, scan the QR code, or use the link in the description for Football Talks, and just go and look at the latest short that we've done up on there. Oh my God. Like, seriously. Taking focus away from the real matter at hand. My dear God. Anyway, I wanted to talk about, obviously we mentioned there, youth players coming in, Kokonki coming in, Godwill Kokonki as a left centre-back. He's 6'5" at the age of 17. It's scary. 16, sorry. It's absolutely scary. But, yeah, he's been training, and word is as well, I'm just going to read this one out, actually, because there's a big piece on Obi Martin, and Obi Martin being fast-tracked. Now, Manchester United, again, we know that scouts have been watching Gyökeres. I said this yesterday, we don't know why. Again, there's more news coming out. United amongst quite a few other teams looking at Gyökeres right now. We need a striker. We need someone who's going to score goals. But I feel like United will just test what they've got as well. And there's an interesting piece here on Chido Obi Martin. Obviously, we all know who he is, the 16-year-old academy wonder kid who came through from Arsenal. He's already got 4 goals in his first 2 starts this season. He scored in midweek again for the under-19s Danish side as well. So he's already well on his way. Over half a dozen goals already this season for club and country at that level. Ruben Amorim is expected to fast-track the development of Chido Obi Martin after being given rave reviews of the striker by Manchester United's youth coaches. Jason Wilcox, Nick Cox and Darren Fletcher are all believed to have spoken with Amorim about Obi Martin. They plan to integrate the teenager into some under-21 games as well as some first-team training sessions to prepare him for the senior team. That's a report that's come out from Steve Bates, freelance football writer as well, with links to Manchester United and the academy. But Nick Cox there, Darren Fletcher. Nick Cox is the head of Manchester United's academy. Jason Wilcox is obviously a technical director and does a lot of the work with the youth setup. Was a big part in bringing Obi Martin to Manchester United. And of course, Darren Fletcher, we know, is going to be that link and that voice from first team to academy for the manager, Ruben Amorim, head coach Ruben Amorim, I should say. And that is what we have got to look forward to as well. Obi Martin, we don't know. Honestly, 16, I don't know. He's built, he's strong. He has got that physicality factor. He's bigger than anyone else in the under-18s, apart from Kokonki as well. But you look at that physicality factor in why a 60-year-old will get through. And I mean this, like, look at how built James Milner, Wayne Rooney were back in the day. And I'm not saying size is everything, but in the Premier League, coming through, you need to have some form of strength and stability, I think, more than anything, to handle what's actually coming your way. And I think Obi Martin has got that in abundance, and you can clearly see that he has as well. I think that's something really important to get into when we're looking at bringing Obi Martin through. Yes, under 21s action, it is a step up from 18s. We'll see how he does there. I don't want to forget about Ethan Wheatley as well. He has made that under 18 step up to the under 21s as well, and he's still scoring as many goals. So he has already done this. And United do have striker options in the academy. Will someone, and that's the question, and I want you guys to obviously get into the comments and let me know on this one. Do you feel like one of our academy forwards will break through this season? Whether it be Obi Martin in spells, whether it be Ethan Wheatley. We can talk about Biancheri if we want. I just think he's a little bit behind the other two in terms of development. I'm still smashing it. I mean, Scanlon, for God's sake. He's another 17-year-old coming through. All you have to do is watch the academy video that I done on the channel last week. It's there in the videos if you want to watch that in video specials on the channel. So go watch that. You'll see all of the talent that's coming through, who I think is on the cusp of making it. And we could expect to see quite soon as well. Within the next 2 years, definitely. But, yeah, Obi Martin getting the opportunity in the first team training. I think that's the first step. Take it stage by stage. Let's not overcook it. Let's not overhype the situation with Obi Martin. But I feel like it's interesting because United are looking at players like Gyökeres. We need a striker. Obviously, we've got issues with Xerxes. We don't know about Rasmus Højlund. And we don't know about Rasmus Højlund under Ruben Amorim yet either. So let's just give him a chance under Amorim and let's see how that goes as well. By the way, well over 1,100 in the room of us watching live. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Even the ones who tuned in a little bit early, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, everybody. Make sure that you've given the video a like as well. We're keeping up to that 200 live like mark, which is great for a morning show. And make sure that you've hit that subscribe button, everybody, as well. You won't miss any content going forward. Keep hitting that bell notification button as well if you have subscribed. We are live constantly every single day with more updates. I'm at the under-21s game at Altrincham tonight as well. So more footage coming from there. I'll keep an eye on who is coming through. I'm not sure who's going to play in that game because of the internationals, but I'll have you updated here on Forever United TV as always. Keeping you in the know about these academy players coming through as much as I possibly can. So, yeah, Obi Martin, Wheatley, I feel like these players are going to get a chance this season. There's going to be a moment where it's just not working properly. And I hope it does work for Højlund. I hope it does work for Rashford. They're the players that you would hope would actually get it into gear and actually make it happen for the team. You want the first team players to actually start turning a corner under Ruben Amorim. I think that's what we need more than anything. But we've got these good academy players also knocking on the door, coming through, that are ready to make their mark as well on this Manchester United side. So, yes, I am excited for what's happening with Ruben Amorim in training, what we've seen. I'm also excited to see these academy lads come through. And like it says there, everybody at United, everyone that I've spoken to when I've had the chance, when I've been in behind the scenes or got access, they're all saying the same thing about Obi Martin. He is an absolute will beater. But let's not forget, we said the same thing about McNeil, and now he's playing at Sheffield Wednesday, didn't make it. We've had quite a few strikers at Manchester United that have looked good at academy level and then failed. I feel like this player is, with him only being 16, and the size he is, the physicality he's got, the skill he's got, the goal scoring he's got already, his record at all levels. I mean, last season, we all know he scored 8 in one game against the Liverpool under-18 side. Like I said, this season, he scored an hat-trick in his first start within 14 minutes at Manchester United. He's got another goal since. He's only had 2 starts for the under-18s, by the way. And that needs to be taken into consideration as well. And, yeah, let's have a look at Ross at the bottom. Charlie McNeil, I don't know if you got him mixed up there completely, mate. Charlie McNeil plays at Sheffield Wednesday. He was an academy lad that came through. So, Ross, I think you got mixed up with that one, pal. But looking at, is Altrincham snowed off? Oh, yeah, it probably might be, actually. I didn't think about that block. I'll double-check that later, which will be disappointing. But then again, it keeps me warm for a bit. But, yeah, looking at Obi Martin, looking at Wheatley, I think they're the two. Watch out for them. That's what I say. I think they've got an opportunity to come through in Manchester United. And I feel like we're looking at the possibility of these players coming through, or this making these first team players step up. I think that's what you've got to look. It's like, okay, if you don't make it, if you don't perform, you don't do what I need, these younger lads are going to come through, they're going to get a chance. And if they do something, then you've got more competition. So it's down to Rasmus, down to Marcus and Joshua Xerxes to make their mark, to take this opportunity now before they get other players coming in behind them. They have to hit the ground running. And this is what we say, like, if you put everything in place structure-wise, you can make it clear. And this is what integrating academy players into the first team will do. It will just give them first team players that little bit of a tap on the shoulder and go, oh, hang on a minute. This lad's the one that's been smashing it at youth level. He's actually got a better record than what I had at academy levels, and he's in the first team training right now. Up your bleeding game. That's what that says to me. Get going. Over 200 likes as well, everyone. Thank you so much. That is absolutely brilliant. You guys are smashing it this morning. Loving it. We said the same thing about Rooney at 16. Fingers crossed. I know. I don't want to even compare him. Giuseppe Rossi was lethal at youth level. You could argue he was better than Obi Martin at this stage. At this age, I don't think he was, mate. I don't think he was. I don't think his numbers were as good. Not as Obi Martin, anyway. And a lot of Giuseppe Rossi's came in the under-21s as well. I think at this age, I think he's better. Better. If you're good enough, you're old enough. And we know this because United are looking at bringing in a 17-year-old in Quenda. So if Obi Martin, who turns 17 next year, is good enough at that level, Quenda, obviously, we're looking to bring him into the Premier League. You're obviously looking at Rigg as well, Chris Rigg from Sunderland. If you're going to look at them players and say that their age is okay because they've been playing football, then you can obviously say that Obi Martin as well has got a chance. Surely, you have to. We will see. We'll see how first team training goes first of all, and then we'll take it from there. I think that's important to look at in all of this as well. Step by step. He's not there yet. I don't think he will be. I personally don't think Obi Martin will get the game time this season. I think it's going to be next season. Never say never, but it's there, isn't it? We've got the option. We just passed over 1,300 watching, by the way. Thank you, everybody. Amazing numbers for a morning show. Also, Manchester United have talked about the swerve ball. Transfer target. Christian Pulisic, everybody. Where did that one come from? At AC Milan at the moment, and you're all thinking, yep, that failed player at Chelsea. That failed player at Chelsea. I know what you're thinking, but Christian Pulisic, apparently Manchester United are watching amongst a few other teams. Why? Well, his record at AC Milan is outstanding. If you haven't watched Serie A, which I haven't, I'm going to open my hands up and say, but just doing a little bit of research into how he's going there. This season alone, he's got 12 goal involvements in 15. He's scoring, he's assisting, he's creating. And I'm thinking of Pulisic here as why would United be going for him? That workhorse. Plays left, plays right, plays in the middle. He could play a few different roles in this Amorim system. And look, it's not like this is far down the line, but when you look at players and you look at developments, you look at Pulisic now at 26, just turning 26, only a couple of months ago. He seems like he's been around forever. And some players actually just find their feet. Look, Gyökeres, Coventry to Sporting, 26. Just Brighton wasn't doing it there at a young age. He's now obviously gone to Coventry, done all right in the Championship, got this big move to Sporting at 26. These young players don't all come through at that young age. Some develop later. You look at Solanke, late bloomer as well. All the hype from Liverpool, sent away, didn't make it. Now he's back at Spurs, playing European football and fighting for Spurs, and now looking at an England spot as well. They don't develop all at the same time. And Pulisic is probably one of them players. Would you take Pulisic? I mean, it's a good player, good technical player. His numbers are ridiculous. I think he's got 30 goal involvements in 47 for AC Milan since he joined. Obviously, he's only been there a couple of seasons, but I'm not necessarily saying that Pulisic should be the one we're buying. I want to use him as an example. He's just come up this morning in the news, and I thought, you know what? You could actually look at Pulisic and say, look, don't give up on a certain player. I feel like at United, under the right development, you could look at Højlund as an example here. 21. And United could give up on him, and then he goes elsewhere, and then we get this scenario happening again. I mean, obviously, look, Salah was sent away by Chelsea. De Bruyne was sent away by Chelsea. They don't all develop at the same pace as other players. Some hit it early and see it through. Like, look at Marcus Rashford, he's the opposite. Came through, smashed it straight away, looked brilliant, and has faded off. Other players actually find their form later on in their mid-20s. And sometimes you just have to look at a player and go, maybe there is an opportunity here to actually develop them. Maybe there's an opportunity, like we said before at the start of the show with Anthony, and developing him into a new role at the football club. I think that's what you've got to look at and take into consideration with all of this. So, yes, I feel like That's important, and we do need to take that into consideration. And Pulisic, yes, good player, just shows that everyone develops at different stages, finds their way, maybe a few clubs in. I just wish that we could actually get that out of our younger players now, have the patience to keep players, but we don't get time at United. That's the big thing. You don't get time to progress. They need to start turning it around now. And I just hope Ruben Amorim arriving is that key and what will bring these players to that form that we need them at Manchester United. Look, I have to do the school run, everybody, so I am going to end the video there. I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody for joining us. Well over 1,300 in the room. Loved it. I could have gone on forever, but I've got to go and beat the snow run and the school run at the same time. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for all your comments. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well on your way out. That's up on your screen now. Give the video a like and get your comments in below. We'll continue the conversation throughout the day as well. But for now, that is us all finished. Thank you, everybody,